I believe this is more or less the expected result of all of this. One of the, I suppose, uh, resistances, I guess, pillars. I'm not. I'm trying to see. I'm going to say victims of Ethan Klein's rather frivolous lawsuits on Denims, Kaceytron, and Frogan has made it such that Kaceytron more than likely has settled out. And I mostly just say frivolous in the sort of aspect that frivolous sort of in the sense that the reasoning for as to why Ethan Klein is doing this is not because he's looking to protect reaction content, as he said in his fucking video. That's nonsensical. That's not the reason why. He's doing this because he wants to specifically go after those he has particular gripes and political grudges with. Because again, in terms of the reaction to the fucking content nuke or the context puke, the reaction that was taken specifically by Asmongold and XQC added significantly less fucking context, or like content rather, in terms of fair use in, say, in comparison to a Denims or Kaceytron or a Frogan, right? Like, but he didn't go after XQC and Asmongold because, while Ethan Klein, I believe, has been on a steady decline of subscribers ever since Leftovers basically ended. I believe he's lost about 600k fucking subscribers over the past 2 years, ever since Leftovers got canceled because of his like schizophrenic fucking crusade against Hasan and Orbiters, because he's just gone insane. Like, I'm not really sure how else to say this besides he's just lost his fucking mind. So I wanted to take a look and see what exactly Kaceytron was forced to read in her apology, being forced to settle out with Ethan Klein. I assume being forced to settle out because she's a tiny content creator in comparison to a millionaire who is now setting the precedent that it is okay for significantly larger content creators to simply just go after people because they have significantly more money and fucking resources at their disposal. Again, we're going to get to a take specifically from Pisco, which I think does a very, very good job at deconstructing the sort of settlement here with Kaceytron. Because I think, well, Pisco, lawyer, uh, or at least is he practicing to be a lawyer, or is he a licensed as a lawyer? I'm not very sure. He knows quite a lot about like differing sort of like litigations and stuff. I know he was like used to be rather a Destiny sort of like law guy that Destiny would refer to consistently. Then I think he had like a falling out with Destiny or something. I digress. We're not here to necessarily get into the sort of gobbledygook mess of whatever happened with between Destiny and Pisco, as I'm assuming, I believe that's something that's happened. Whatever. We're more so here to talk about Ethan deciding to, I think, ultimately just finish off his fucking reputation. Because everyone's just going to look at this, besides the weirdo, like, incels collection of, like, Asmongold viewers who nobody already likes, and whatever remnants of his like estranged like girly pop community that he used to fucking have, many of which have left because of a lot of Ethan's actions, and whatever like cruel elements I suppose can it still exists of that or whatever, what have you, and him basically just, I think, just now ultimately going down a particular rabbit hole where he's probably going to start to appease or try to appeal to a lot more XQC, Asmongold, fucking 3IQ troglodytic viewers in order to have some form of a recovery for his rather flailing channel that's been losing, like I said before, consistently a lot of fucking subscribers since, well, the past 2 years of the falling out of Leftovers. I'm rambling here a little bit. Why don't we get into the video to see the cruelty of Ethan Klein?
I want to begin by stating I take responsibility for infringing the content nuke. The lawsuit was not frivolous. When I said the lawsuit was frivolous and based on misogyny, it was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation.
Obviously, that is nonsensical. The only people that Ethan Klein has been consistently going after with his litigation has been women. And he's gone after people like Taylor Lorenz, obviously Frogan and Denims as well. And basically, if you're like a woman seemingly around Hasan for whatever reason, he has his like target spent on you specifically. It is obviously misogynistic. So more than likely, a lot of this shit, because she's definitely reading this fucking apology that Ethan probably put together or some shit, and because as a part of the fucking settlement, of course, and more than likely, this is all just being said because of like Ethan's particular conniptions that he has with these people. Because again, like I said before, when a bunch of them did say, don't react, don't give this views or anything, although the contexts of that are a little like weird, but them overall saying that don't watch this video, view my stream instead, don't give this views or any money or attention or whatever, that's a really fucking stupid idea, and it opens you up to litigation like this, of which Ethan will definitely pursue because he has proven to be extremely aggressive with his litigious behavior. So, kind of stupid of them to fucking say that stuff. I'd have to double check to see if I can find the VODs from Frogan or Kaceytron who said this. Because I believe also Sean the Black and I think maybe Mike from PA also said similar lines to that effect as well. But for some reason, Ethan decided to not go after Sean the Black or Mike from PA. Well, that's a little interesting. And again, he referred to a list specifically from his snark Reddit of people on there. And I found the fucking thread before. I talked about this in a previous video of the people specifically that he had a problem with. But for some reason, he only opted to go after Denims, Frogan, and Kaceytron. Well, that's a little suspicious. Why did you only go against them? Because they were the only women that were listed within that snark Reddit super thread saying like you should watch, because specifically the line saying like you should watch these streams instead of giving any views or attention whatsoever to the context puke that's coming out today, which is where he got that line to begin with. It was from a fucking snark Reddit, so it's very, very silly and ridiculous. And then attributing it to people who fucking streamed it instead. Again, silly, ridiculous, very fucking stupid. And we probably can't really find the VODs because those things have more than likely been nuked from fucking existence. So it's going to be very difficult to see if Kaceytron, Frogan, or Denims. Now, the Denims one, I believe, is still out there. I think it's on YouTube from one of her either like VOD channels or something, who has the entirety of that VOD released on a separate channel, of course, where she offhandedly and well, I mean, Denims does make a statement on this. The sort of like bit specifically with the first statement that Ethan is hyper fixating on is read it out, relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views, and then replied, yeah, I'm going to stream it since he's confirmed it's coming out today. I'm going to stream it. I hope this is self-evident, but it would be bizarre for me to take that opportunity to bring attention to this group of people and how they actually should watch his video on his channel. It isn't my place. I don't care, and making a big deal out of it would only encourage the zealotry that Ethan is upset about. I merely acknowledged that I was going to react to it and moved on. Drawing a broader narrative based on a chat message I did not write is delusional. And again, like I said before, the line that he specifically focused on was from within a fucking snark Reddit. That is Denims' actual fucking statement saying like, yeah, I'm going to stream it. She didn't say anything that specifically herself. She was talking with a chatter saying like, I'm going to react to it. And didn't mention anything explicitly about you going to watch it on the channel or not. Very stupid. And what the other statement that he's hyper specifically focusing on is, well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content. As an aside, this statement is factual, almost certainly. If someone watched my coverage, they had no interest in watching Ethan's video without addition of critical commentary, and never would have. Regardless, this statement does not characterize my intent. Right? It's very, very stupid. Yeah, I also thought comedy was legal as well. Boy Meets Mini, right? You can't do like rather throwaway shill comments or something. Like, okay, bro, nice meme. And yeah, this isn't saying anything about intent. Well, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, again, throwaway comment. This ultimately isn't really meaningless. And if that was ultimately the fucking, like, if it was meant to detract views away from the video, why would she say this at the end of the video before signing off and not at the beginning, right? Think about it. Because timing on stuff like this is quite fucking important. If the intention was for her to take views away from the context puke, then she would have said this at the beginning, right? But she didn't. She said this at the end, after watching the entirety of the fucking video. Which means her intention was not to take away fucking views from that dumbass fucking video, as she is describing herself here. Now, obviously, we can come up with the criticisms like, why are we, like, litigating this on the internet, despite the fact that she said that she's not going to litigate this on the internet. Sure. I think that's, like, fine to say. It would be better if a lawyer were to say this particular statement rather than Denims. Okay, sure, yeah, like that's like a rather by the margins thing, but all these like freaks and schizophrenics would have like come out from the woodwork and say that there's like, oh yeah, well you definitely totally fucking intended to take away views from Ethan Klein's fucking video. Yeah, and it's just like, okay, bro, like, yeah, man, totally. Despite the fact that that's not what she said, but for these people, they don't really give much of a fuck about it. Regardless, the statement does not characterize my intent. At most, you can say this is a mean-spirited comment in poor taste. Making a joke like this is too far, and that Ethan deserves more respect. We can agree to disagree. Sure, whatever. But yeah, the only reason why Ethan Klein is even doing any of this is because he just wants to bully people that are significantly smaller than him. Because he's just mad about the fact that Hasan has way more mainstream prominence than his dumbass has ever had. Like, he's losing it. He's had so many controversies where he's just like spiraling out of control now. And broadly speaking, most people see that as like, damn, Ethan's like not looking good. Like, I'm just curious. I just want to take a quick look at the fucking social blade for Ethan Klein. I'm just curious. Yeah. Look at that. It's been a steady decline for the latter part of this year, and not much fucking gain. Now, he had a little bit of a boost up here, probably because of, this was 2023, so this would have been about 2 years ago. Yeah, this is about when Leftovers was just about to end, and he started his, like, moral crusade, and then he started getting more and more deranged about his crusade, and as a result, his fucking sub-growth has been cratering. Even his views are starting to also shit the fucking goddamn bed. Like, he used to have tens of millions of views, and now he's only getting a couple million in comparison. Yeah, this is really, really fucking rough here for Ethan specifically. Like, obviously, like, it's still a successful channel. He can still have a living off of this, but in comparison to the meteoric success that he used to have, it's not even close. Like, he's been, I think, like, the count was done. I think he's like lost about like 600,000 subscribers over the latter part of 2 years after starting his like moral crusade against, I don't know, what he perceives to be fucking terrorists on Twitch or some shit. It is not a good fucking look. I'm just curious. I can't see the fucking 3-year. Unfortunate. I need premium for that shit. That's okay. But yeah, it's looking really, really fucking bad, which is why, like, he's like trying to like further insulate himself seemingly, and trying to maybe like purge whatever he thinks is like the left element from within his sort of audience, and he's trying to now appeal to a lot more like dipshit fucking incel stuff, which is like really really weird because he wants to like appeal to like Asmongold and XQC now, people who he's had significant problems with in the past. I mean, it's all incredibly fucking petty, transactional, and really fucking stupid. But I'm going on off on a little bit of a ramble here, but why don't we just continue with the apology?
And retaliate against the Kleins. This lawsuit has given me a greater understanding of copyright protection, people's copyrights, and the importance of protecting copyrights in the online content creation community.
Okay, again, because like it was because she got sued because she was one of the names mentioned in a fucking snark Reddit, and that's like the basis of a fucking lawsuit. It's nonsensical. It's stupid. Like, cause she didn't like. Did she say those exact same words within that fucking snark Reddit in and of itself? I don't think so. So that's sort of like contributing to the frivolousness of this fucking lawsuit. It's just it's insane to me.
It is important for the entire content creation community to respect the intellectual property rights of other creators, and I will adhere to the lessons I've learned throughout this process going forward. I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise, from Hasan Piker. Hasan.
Bro? What? Well, huh? Okay, because I remember that's like a thing before. Apparently, allegedly, like Kaceytron mentioned like offhandedly that she was getting support from Hasan or something, despite there never being any evidence for that being the case whatsoever. And I think Kacey has also said herself, like, I don't know why these people keep constantly bringing up Hasan around me. We've never met, and they're only like sort of acquaintance, like maybe as like acquaintances they've met, but in reality they've not actually met whatsoever. They're not like that. So yeah, again, it's like you can maybe make this argument more so with someone like Denims or something, because she is more of a Hasan orbiter, and I believe they've met before and have some rapport with one another. Again, it's really fucking strange. Like, why are you bringing this up in this way? It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Why bring up Hasan? Oh, I know why he's bringing up Hasan. Because it's all about him in the end. Ethan was too much of a fucking coward to go after Hasan specifically, because that would actually be an even playing field. But he goes after 3 women content creators instead. Again, I say this exact same thing. There was a bunch of other content creators listening there who were all men. He only went after the fucking women. Why is that? Because he's trying to appeal to fucking incels. It's extremely obvious.
Hasan never even reached out to me privately to offer words of support. Speaking honestly, I found his indifference to my suffering hurtful, especially after he hinted he might help me behind the scenes. It felt like he wanted to receive credit from the public for him helping me without providing any.
What? This is some major fucking projection here from fucking Ethan. Yeah, this is like a weird fucking hostage apology video. This is fucking insane that he's forcing her to say all this nonsense about his... Hasan has like nothing to do with this. He didn't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole because he knows that you're a fucking schizo, Ethan. He knows that you're fucking insane, bro. Like, why fucking continue to deal with like your continued downward spiral into fucking irrelevance? Like, what is wrong with you, dude?
As to the GoFundMe money, to the extent there are any remaining funds after I pay my attorney's fees, I have agreed to pay the remaining funds to the Kleins. The funds will not go to anyone else, including Denims or Frogan, to defend their lawsuits.
Why does that need to be fucking mentioned specifically, Ethan? What did she mention that she was also going to give those funds also to Denims or Frogan? Like, that doesn't, like, that's very, very fucking peculiar and strange. Because I have no idea if did she say that in like a VOD somewhere. I have no fucking idea. If there's like a lore master that's not a fucking Ethan Klein fan, then you can like let me know if that's the case or whatnot. I would like to know. I'm curious if that's the case, because if she were to do that, wouldn't that be fraud? Like, you're not allowed to do that. There's already stuff that says you can't do that, right? if you like lose the fucking case and you have to pay the fucking money out instead to specifically like to someone to whoever's the main beneficiary of the winner of the lawsuit. Like I don't know, like this sort of bit here is like really strange to me.
For the record, I have agreed to cooperate with the Kleins in their litigation against the H3 Snark mods for promoting my live stream to the extent that I am able. I will offer my support.
So yeah, again, it's all about the fucking snark mod and the snark mods that he's also trying to do a lawsuit for. Because that's like the whole basis for as to why he decided to do this fucking lawsuit from the beginning. It's because the snark Reddit themselves said, watch these creators instead to not give any money to Ethan Klein and his like dumbass fucking YouTube channel, right? So but the content creators themselves never said that statement. It's nonsensical. It's ridiculous.
Including testifying under oath to everything I have just stated to help their cause. I also want to take the opportunity to acknowledge other misconduct and bad behavior I have exhibited online. For example, weaponizing the death of Asmongold's mother was inexcusable.
Okay, what?
I should know better because I have 3 disabled people that rely on me. Moving forward, I will do better.
That is genuinely fucking insane. I think, like, Asmongold replied to this saying, like, no, I don't accept your apology, because Asmongold, miserable little cockroach, like, unironically, just a terrible, terrible fucking human being. And if there's any opportunity for him to just basically shit on a fucking woman, he'll take it. He doesn't really give much of a shit about that whatsoever. Ethan... So I was correct in my initial assessment. Ethan wants to hitch his ride to fucking Asmongold. Ethan, that's not a good idea there, buddy. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, a dumb fuck fascist who reaffirms the positions of all his, like, idiotic fucking Zionist beliefs. Oh, that seems to be rather fucking... that's a checks out to me. Whoa. It turns out Zionism has always been a fascist-friendly ideology from the beginning. Oh, I'm shocked. Ethan, you don't really want to hitch your ride to fucking Asmongold in particular because the rabbit hole he's going down, he's not getting out of it. When inevitably the woke backlash happens, Asmongold's not going to be able to pivot to the like generic sort of like centrist babble that he used to do in the past. Oh, no. Once you go down the alt-right pipeline as aggressively as he has over the period of time that he has, the latter part of, I'd say, about like 2 years, you don't get out of that. You're forever fucking tainted. Everyone will remember him for all of those wretched, terrible fucking takes that he used to have about minorities, against, for protesters as well. All the stuff he said about fucking Palestinians that got him banned for 2 weeks. There's no climbing out of a fucking hole like that. Everyone's going to remember him as like that weird fucking cockroach fucking loser who said all of that incredibly fascistic shit. And that perception, like, because I've talked with my normie friends about this. They know who Asmongold is. My normie friends in real life know who he is. And they all fucking hate him. He's not climbing out of that hole. Listen, Ethan, if you want to hitch your ride to fucking Asmongold, be my fucking guest. This fucking subscriber count that's been going down consistently for the latter part of 2 years is only going to accelerate and get fucking worse. So, I don't know, man. Your fucking decision, buddy.
I also want to apologize to the crew of the H3 podcast, particularly AB and Olivia. I apologize for calling them cowards for not quitting their jobs. That was a shameful attack on 2 people who deeply care about Palestine and Palestinian people. AB, along with...
I do find a lot of the attacks by lefties on like people like AB to be rather fucking strange. I do think that Ethan is an overall drag down for the fucking crew. I do think that he is a miserable wretch, and if the crew of the H3 podcast were to start their own podcast, I do think it would be quite successful. 1000% in spite of Ethan Klein. I don't disagree with that. But here's the thing. Ethan doesn't give a fuck about the lives of fucking Palestinians, right? He constantly repeats a ton of fucking propaganda that has been put out by Zionists consistently throughout multiple fucking decades. And we've talked about this before, but he's a liberal Zionist who has just become a sort of like rah hoorah fucking Zionist simply for the express purpose of just wanting to hate on Hasan. There's no principle behind any of this. He's not a Zionist for principled fucking reasonings. He's just a Zionist because he fucking hates Hasan way more. Like, that's really about it. Not because he, I don't know, has like a genuine love for the country of Israel. He probably hasn't even thought about it all that much, right? Talk about how much he fucking loves Israel. The only reason why he talks about Israel more and more, like nowadays, or after fucking Leftovers ended, was because of the falling out that he had with Hasan. That's like literally the only fucking reasoning whatsoever. So again, there's like nothing fucking genuine behind this, and he only just repeats all of the exact same slop and propaganda that Zionists say all the time. It's fucking nonsensical.
With his wife Lena, have done more than I have ever done for the Palestinian people, including raising over $100,000 in charity. I recognize that they have actually made Palestinian lives better, and my online antagonism and trolling has not.
Yeah, dude, because you supporting the fucking side of the Israelis has certainly made it that it's better. But you tutting Netanyahu about the fucking starvation campaign has been very, very effective. Guys, Netanyahu is just like a particular, because this is his position. He thinks Netanyahu is bad. It's like, okay, good job, Ethan. You're not gonna have any more like further systemic critiques of the problems with Israel. It's like, well, no, because of all this like history of like Arabs not taking the fucking deals. It's like, you are aware it's because of a lot of antagonisms that have been caused by the state of Israel, right? Like, they had their reasons to not really be a big fan of what the Zionists were fucking doing, especially the Palestinians, from all the constant skirmishes that they've had. There's history to this, Ethan, and you don't really know much of it.
I apologize to Ethan and Gila personally. I have said extremely mean and cruel things about both of them, particularly my misogynistic attacks against Gila that never should have been said. I also want to acknowledge the pervasive problem of anti-Semitism in leftist spaces.
Yeah, dude, the pervasive problem of anti-Semitism in fucking leftist spaces, despite you being the motherfucker who consistently, and I mean consistently, does the rhetorical tactic of saying that Zionism and fucking Judaism are the exact same. The consistent fucking line used by Zionists in order to justify their fucking ethnic cleansing campaign against the fucking Palestinians. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit, Ethan. Like, what the fuck do you mean? No. And as has been said by literally everybody, including like Sam Cedar, an anti-Zionist Jew, saying that the conflation that you are doing consistently between Zionism and Judaism is what really puts fucking Jewish people in danger. Because again, I've said this before. Judaism, a cultural and religious affiliation. Zionism is a political ideology, an ethno-nationalist political ideology. It's nonsense. But does Ethan know about any of that stuff? No.
It should concern all of us. I condemn it and will not participate in it. To that end, I wish the Kleins success in enforcing TED Entertainment's copyright and protecting the legal rights of online content creators.
Nonsense, dude. This has never been about protecting the IP of online content creators. This is about a bully waving his fucking dick around with his incredibly litigious dick around in order to just go after people for slights that he has against them. That is it. This is just peak bully behavior. This was never about protecting IP rights. But here, Pisco, I think, had a very, very good sort of summary in terms of the alleged Ethan Klein settlement with Kaceytron. Alleged Ethan Klein settlement with Kaceytron further supports everything I've been saying. I'm aware that there is other litigation ongoing, that this case was never about protecting the React community from a potential lawsuit from Disney or Sony. Because again, if Disney or Sony want to just annihilate you from fucking orbit. They would just do that with like via the automated content ID system, right? Like, there's already systems for that in place where the corporations have significantly more power in their hands to begin with. But again, Ethan Klein's not going to sue people like Disney or Sony about that shit because he has nowhere near the resources in comparison to them. He will go after people like Frogan, Denims, and fucking Kaceytron because of his own sort of misogynistic fucking tendencies, but also because they are significantly smaller and they won't be able to put up as much of a resistance as, say, Disney or Sony. Ethan's words, not mine. Nor was it about helping enforce a standard on the React community. Ethan's central framing, not mine. This case was never going to establish precedent, legal or cultural, on the React community, other than what is already well known in American life. Those with resources are able to vindicate their property rights using the courts. On the fucking money there from fucking Pisco. And that is it. He just has more money than these 3 content creators, significantly more resources, because he can just like bully them around because he has just way more fucking money than them in comparison. That's literally it. Because again, like, as Denims herself said, as we know, Ethan decided not to sue Asmongold or XQC or anyone other than the 3 of us. But he wouldn't sue them. They didn't intentionally try to deprive him of revenue. You said yourself you did. This notion is frivolous and is a fabrication. Ethan claims he is pursuing his claim against me only because of some claimed malicious intent on my part. There are 2 statements that Ethan falsely claims demonstrate my intent, along with this conspiracy theory about collusion with Reddit moderators, none of whom I have ever communicated with. Like I said before, the line that he refers to specifically, what came from the snark Reddit, he has presented, and I saw the video of him talking about the fucking lawsuit. He presented 0 fucking evidence to suggest that Denims, Frogan, or Kaceytron were in cahoots with the snark Reddit fucking moderators. Because there is none. There is none. We have no idea. Or actually, I'm not going to even say, not that there is none. We have seen no evidence to suggest that. The onus is on you specifically, Ethan, to present that evidence. And as far as I know, he's not really quite presented any of that evidence. There would have been some chatter about that. He said that he got a successful motion to try to get that fucking evidence, but it seems like it's come up with nothing. So as far as I can tell, Ethan seems to be fucking lying about this. And there's nothing inherently wrong with someone protecting their IP, especially not in a strong cage, which I've always maintained this was, that I can agree with. What I take issue with has been specifically focused on the pretense that the lawsuit is about something greater than that, than protecting property and punishing and humiliating the defendants for their transgressions, perceived or real, against Ethan. In his video, Ethan constructs a fake narrative about protecting the React community. 1000% agree there with fucking Pisco. That is exactly what he did. Again, because he never, like I said before, if he was being consistent in what he was saying, he would have gone after all of those fucking content creators that the snark Reddit mentions specifically. But he doesn't. Why is that? He just wanted to go after smaller women content creators and weaponize the general sort of wave of misogyny that we are currently in right now to his advantage in order to have a potentially stronger base of support for his fucking lawsuit. That is why. Ethan constructs a fake narrative about protecting the React community, presumably because 1, he is aware that trigger-happy litigation bros are not usually well received on YouTube, especially when it's the big guy going after the little guy, and 2, Ethan didn't like to give the answer because I don't like them to the question of why them and not others. Exactly. 1000 fucking percent. Because again, like, the only reason why, because by the way, this is not the first time he went after Denims. There was another lawsuit that he had, I think, on Denims, I think Bad and Panada, and also Noah Samson, all of which he was forced to settle out of because of the fact that they just went nowhere. The Denims already has a victory under her belt against fucking Ethan Klein because of an earlier lawsuit that he did against her that went absolutely fucking nowhere. So we have to go through this absurd song and dance about stated intentional siphoning and malice and pretend that was what was going on. Just for calling that out, the response was insane delusion and deflections. Disappointing, because this is unlike the stand that Ethan took when he was sued by Bold Guy, a case which was well worth defending and did produce good precedent in the Southern District of New York. Bold Guy. Is that fucking Matt Haas? That's the only one that I can think of. I'm not sure about this Bold Guy individual. I digress. Yes, 1000% agree there with Pisco. This is, I think, a fairly accurate sort of portrayal for as to what Ethan Klein's settlement intention here is with Kaceytron specifically. And honestly, you can just pretty much get that from the fucking video itself. Like, it's like a fucking hostage being forced to read out a fucking apology. Like, this is like unironically shit that fucking the terrorist fucking videos would do, forcing people to read out random fucking statements. Well, that and worse. And also, the state of Israel would also do the exact same fucking shit. So, again, we all know what the intention behind this lawsuit to begin with. He wanted to go after people because he's incredibly litigious. He's also a misogynist, and also because he is, and that this was never really about protecting reaction fucking content. Nonsensical. He could give less of a flying fuck about any of that shit, right? He just wanted to go after these 3 women in particular because he doesn't really fucking like them. And he probably wanted to get a fucking get back on fucking Denims specifically. So this isn't about Hasan. This isn't about a bunch of other fucking bullshit that Ethan can try to say that this lawsuit was about, or protecting fucking IP rights or whatever. None of that fucking matters, right? This was about bullying and fucking cruelty on smaller fucking women content creators that he can perceive as okay sort of like legal targets for him to go after. That is it. I don't think there's really much else to say besides, Ethan, there's only one thing that you're going to be remembered by, and that is you're a fucking bully who is incredibly litigious and is a fucking piece of shit. Hopefully you're going to be okay with that bed you're making with Asmongold and all of the other weird fucking little commentary fucking freaks like Willie Mac Show or like Nux Taku and shit like that, and fucking Tectone. Hope you're going to be okay with those particular bedfellows, just so you can defend the fucking state of Israel, bro. Nice fucking meme, Ethan.